Ngayon ho, dumako muli tayo sa ating panel discussion dito sa ating studio. Tita Winnie, the president is honest. A lot of people still believe that.
I don't have any, I have no quarrel with that.
He is popular, although bumaba yung kanyang popularity or approval or trust ratings, he's still, above, positive pa rin. What do you think should he do para yung kanyang popularity and his perceived honesty will translate into more, beneficial concrete terms para sa ating mga mamamayan, lalo na sa ating ekonomiya kasi hindi although mataas yung GDP natin, sabi ng mga tricycle driver kanina na na-interview natin, hindi nila naramdaman.
Ayan ang sinabi rin natin Ayan ang sinabi rin ng evaluation that it is not inclusive kasi hindi lang sapat ang mataas ng antas ng growth, hindi. Kailangan kasama yung employment at saka kasama yung poverty. Hindi pwedeng, it has to be a long, sustained growth before it happens. Kaya ang gusto kong gawin lang ni Presidente, pwede ba tuparin niya yung pangako niya. Ano yung pangako niya? Yung pangako niya, yung social contract, ayan ang nakalagay sa Philippine Development Plan Yung kanyang pangako, yung 16-point social contract with the Filipino people. Na-translate yon sa Philippine Development Plan 2011 to 2016. Sa ngayon, mukhang hindi niya kinakamit. So, my wish for him is, can you please do what you said you would do? Now, this does not mean, mga kapuso, that all the presidents have committed. Kinamit nila ang kanila.
But what seems to be the problem about job generation? Bakit they're not generating so much employment? Binaba pa nila, sabi ho ninyo, yung kanilang target as to
from
jobs
1 million
generated.
to 634.
Why? For someone so popular and for someone perceived to be honest, na yun yung hinahanap talaga na marami nating kababayan after the past administrations.
Because the president is not concentrating on agriculture, as seen by his grades on agriculture and what he has actually done compared to his target. Kasi ang agrikultura natin, Jessica, 30% of our employed labor force comes from there. And most of them are informal. Farmers, fisherfolk, hindi ba? So that's one thing. And the second thing, aside of 30% comes from them, when you don't concentrate on agriculture, then what happens is that poverty is increased, hindi ba?
At ngayon hindi pa humaganda yung ating power situation, Professor Tuason. Ano ho kaya ang ano pang pwedeng sabihin po dito sa ating the situation where the country is at present? Hindi tayo nakapag-generate ng gaanong jobs and then ayan pa yung ating power supply, kumukurap-kurap, sabi nga ho nila.
Pwede ko bang balikan sandali yung popular concept lang tapos puntahan ko yung tanong. Mahirap talaga intindihin kung saan talaga nanggagaling yung popularity, no? Kasi dapat linawin natin ano ibig sabihin ng popularity. As I recall it, in 2010, it was name recall. The name Aquino was a magic and therefore it translates to national votes, no? Pero kung ang usapin dito ay popularity, batay talaga sa recorded performance at saka yung commitment ng isang presidente para talaga maging isang tunay na social reformer, then that's a different case. And in this particular case, na kung saan 4 years is already passed and there's only a remaining 2 years, hindi na ito usapin ng popularity. I mean, for the first 4 years, parang lumalabas na did he squander yung 4 years na yon? Did he squander yung popularity rating niya to be able to initiate yung true reforms in all its multifaceted aspects of governance, corruption, etc., economy, etc. So he practically blundered, saka wasted yung 4 years. And now, ang usapin ngayon, hindi na, Jessica, popularity. Ang usapin ngayon ay performance. Actually, dapat first day pa lang ng presidency, dapat performance na yung kanya eh. No? So, ang tanong ngayon, so what else can be done? What else, kung yun ang tanong mo, Jessica, no? Ano
Kaya pa ho ba niyang ma-overcome yung, the problems being, thrown at his administration? Kasi I heard somebody say na parang there was too much focus on anti-corruption. Tuloy, nakalimutan yung economy, no? Yung prices are still high,
that's not
etc.
fair.
Parang actually, Jessica, parang every year tuwing SONA, nandito tayo sa media, etc. Parang tingin natin parang nauulit yung mga issue, no, nauulit yung mga problema. Actually, sa akin, I look at the presidency not only as a person. I look at it as an institution. No? To be able to really scrutinize kung ano yung naging takbo ng presidency as an institution mula pa nung panahon ni Corazon Aquino hanggang kay Ramos, etc., etc. Ang lumalabas, alam mo, Jessica, lahat ng presidential administrations, they were hounded by various types of political instability, economic and political, power crisis, and then call for emergency powers. Ngayon nauulit yung power crisis. So ibig sabihin, as a whole, for the past almost 30 years after Marcos, parang hindi na kaya ng ating governance institutions para talaga magkaroon ng konkretong pag-address doon sa mga fundamental issues. The issues that we hear today, the issues that we are bothered about today are the same issues that we saw 30 years ago. So ibig sabihin, for the past 30 years, Jessica, paulit-ulit, it looks like there have been too many unsettling and unsolved issues. At ito yung minamana ngayon ni Noy Aquino. Now, he has only 2 years to stay. I think, syempre, from me as a layman, coming from the people, policy study, if I were the president, I would like to use my remaining 2 years to do some concrete, achievable things. One, just to finish my piece. Una, dapat itulak.
Nagre-react si Tita Winnie kasi
Una, dapat itulak na niya yung peace process. No, malaking usapin pa yung yung GPH-MILF process. Mukhang magkakaroon pa ng tension sa Kongreso, no? Ngayon lumalabas yung mga differences. Itulak na rin niya yung peace process with the left, with the armed left, yung NDFP, no? And some other doable things. Doable in the sense na pwede niyang simulan things na he never did in his first 4 years, or he failed to do in his first 4 years.
Tita Winnie, now your chance to react.
No, it's just that all these are embedded in the Philippine Development Plan. I wish people would read it because it's there. It's all written there. And then what this administration did, which no other administration did, is to bring into focus the so-called results matrices. In other words, they wanted the people to judge according to what they considered to be good results. Yung targets nila, there are, I think, 256 targets in the entire plan. For 2013, data hasn't come in. Only 155 targets they have data for 155 targets. And of these 155 targets, I think 54% were okay. Ayan ang sinabi ng gobyerno mismo, ha? I mean, the ones who monitored this, 54% were okay. Something like something percent were not okay, and some were on the average. In other words, you have never seen such transparency in this government. And yet people don't look at it. They want to hear from me and from Bobby Tuason what they think the president... The president has already set out what he wants to do. And now, what I would like to hear from him in this SONA is he'll say, all right, 60% of my administration is done, and I want to know. I want to tell you that 60% of my targets have been reached. That's what I'd like to hear. If I had my druthers, I don't know whether he's going to do it. But I can tell you that if anybody wants to judge this administration based on actual figures on what they've set out to do, there's nothing like this administration. 256 targets.
So you think that's good for the for all the
Absolutely
administrations,
good,
past and present?
Oh yeah, because I was in his mother's administration, and I was involved in the administration of ERAP only insofar as the development plan was concerned. Nobody paid attention to that development plan until the end of the program. So parang hindi nila, it's not theirs. But since this development plan is supposed to have embedded the 16-point contract, so you can judge him on the basis of this development plan.
Okay. That's one point. Pero Tita Winnie, ano pong maisasagot nyo naman dun sa mga nagsasabi? Coming from ERAP, coming from Gloria, here was PNoy, with everything that he is. And yet parang hindi raw masyadong gumalaw yung ating bansa.
Hindi naman pwede, hindi gumalaw. I mean, the growth rate of this, growth is important. It is not sufficient, but it is necessary. You don't have growth, you're not going to be able to bring up poverty and employment. But just because you have growth does not mean that poverty and employment grow simultaneously. So it's government policy, and he has not done as well as he should do, but compared to what he set out to do, but compared with other presidents, if you are comparing with other presidents, what they have done compared to what they said they would do, he's better.
Okay.
And that is something that is objectively verified.
What about the things that they promised? Big things like Daang Matuwid, being a transformational leader. On that score, ano po masasabi niyo doon?
That is not quantitatively measurable.
Okay.
Right? So you can, so you're doing it in perception. I told you a while ago that the DAP to me was transformational, but to you it's a culpable violation of the Constitution or whatever.
To the Supreme Court.
No, the DAP is not unconstitutional to the Supreme Court. It is the process which was used. Okay. Now, two, the reforms that were done by the budget, Abad is being vilified, he's demonized, etc. But he was the one that, while the PDAF was there, tightened up the process completely. He didn't, he saw that it was, and then he tightened up. What people, what happens is that there's a whole study. Then people concentrate on one study, one part of that study, and they
miss the entire picture.
They miss the entire picture. And that's what I don't want to happen, because this administration has had, really transformational. But nobody wants to accept it because they think you're a demon. Masama ang ginawa mo dyan, kaya lahat ng mga ginawa mong mabuti, wala na. Ay, hindi pwede yan.
Curious lang po ako, taon-taon, this is his 5th SONA and also the 5th time that the MGG is grading him. Nakakarating ho ba sa kanya itong paggrado nyo sa kanya? And have you had a chance to ask him anong reaction niya dito sa grado? Ang sinabi sa amin, talagang tinitignan niya.
Ngayon, kung no, I have not had the chance to say, "Oy, PNoy, did you see?" No, but his people. So I want to see today what he has, what he has taken, because the National Statistical Coordination Board has put in all the targets and all what has been achieved towards that target. So you can judge for yourself. That is, to me, transparency, honesty. What I want him to do is say, this is what has happened with respect to my Philippine Development Plan, and I'm going to continue doing it.
Quickly, Professor Tuason, reaction bago natin na puntahan na ang batasang pambansa kung saan naglalakad na po ang Pangulo papasok sa plenary hall para sa kanyang SONA.
Well, we're trying to assess the presidency. No? Ako naman, I'm trying to assess Aquino, not only yung bate doon sa 1 year o last itong 4th year niya, kundi yung kabuuang term niya, no? Yung first 4 years. No? Pero babalikan ko lang yung PDP. Definitely, when we assess the president, it should be on the basis of results.
Yes.
Ano yung correspondence, no, consistency ng kanyang sinabi through the 4 SONAs, no, at yung actual na nangyari. The results will bear out whether there was really a one-to-one correspondence between the PDP, and the results. Now, isang simpleng indikasyon lang. Doon sa PDP at sa kanyang yung unang SONA niya, nangako siya na yung problema ng mga OFWs ay marereduce na yan, mababawasan na yan, dahil ang pangarap niya to see to it, to ensure na ang mga pamilya ay hindi na aasa doon sa pag-export, no? Out-migration ng kanilang mga tatay, nanay, mga kapatid. No? The results are reversed, actually. No? At the end of the term of GMA, on the basis of the daily exodus of OFWs every day, no? Yung daily exit ng mga OFWs, it was already 4,000 at the end of 2010 term ni Arroyo. Ngayon, umakyat na siya sa 4,500 Filipinos leaving the country every day in search of job. Ibig sabihin, hindi talaga nag-generate ng job security yung kanyang employment economy and so on.
That's what it says.
Kaya nga 54% lang doon sa goals nila, Tita Winnie, you said a while ago, of the 250 something.
No, 256 targets that are measurable. 155 were actually measured because of lack of data. I mean, for 2013. So of this 155, I don't know, but you can look at the website. They say about 54% was high probability of being achieved, and the rest are not. But these are different goals.
Let's go to the batasang pambansa quickly now. Nandun na po si Pangulong Aquino.